That just goes to show you that even though the stigma exists, and quite honestly, she's probably at the age where the stigma is deepest and thickest, right?
Correct.
But yet she was willing, out of desperation and for the health benefits, they're willing to try anything, right? And that's a beautiful thing. But unfortunately, it had been illegal. But it was probably you wouldn't have arrested her, would you have? If you would have?
Oh no,
okay,
but
good.
Right. and her cancer is gone, and
awesome.
She still gets tested, I think, every 2 years or something. But so I did bring it up a few years later. I said, if your cancer went through remission, what's the purpose of you still smoking? Because she still smokes.
She's still smoking. Nice.
Yes.
Oh man. Well, that's beautiful. I mean, because now you can coexist a little bit. Has she been to the Flower Fest?
No, but she actually I haven't mentioned that to her either.
You haven't. No,
Right.
I think that's the next step for you, Dan. Speaking of Flower Fest, man. I mean, the first one was in December of last year. I went to it. It was right here in my hometown. Here comes Dan from outside of the area. Throws this historical event right on the beach, and I didn't know what to expect, right? Because it was the first open consumption event. Like I said, it's historical. It was on the beach, and I was really impressed by it, Dan. It was orderly, it was clean. Everybody was chilling out. The consumption tents made sense. You had retail inside there, and they each had their own little vibe, music, games, whatever. It was very small, right? I think you could walk the whole thing in about a minute and a half, and I did. But what you tell me from your perspective? What did you think about the event? It was the first event, so what did you think about it?
Oh, I was very pleased with the event.
It was 21 and over,
right? It was 21
knows.
Over, and you had your age was verified through an age verification device. It was no different from the retail stores where you come in, you have to, your age has to be verified with a valid ID. Of course, the only difference was that you could purchase and then you could also consume on site. The city said the consumption had to be within tents. They did not want any odor to come out. So I placed some large air filters inside. And again, I think, I don't know if you recall, but outside in the whole venue, you cannot smell.
No,
even if you stood in front of the tent, you cannot smell.
Yeah, you had that double door.
Yes. We call it a little lobby.
Right.
And we had someone inside that would open and close the door behind you, hope to capture anything that would escape.
Similar to those curtains you see at the butcher store, big warehouses, right?
Right.
Something
Correct.
Like that.
Yes, very similar to that.
Yeah.
We had some good food. We had Trendy Eats. Trendy Eats, who's involved with us. So they brought, good vendors.
Quite an audience as well.
And we had the local merchants, and just the crowd itself was very. Everyone just seemed to be having a good time, and I was very happy to see, that everyone enjoying their time, I was just happy to see people happy.
One of the things that really stood out to me, well, other than it being very calm and very clean, I've never seen bathrooms that clean at a public event. And you had people walking around, cleaning up the ground, picking up papers if there were. But you know what? Cannabis people are conscious people. They're ecologically conscious. So they were cleaning up after themselves. You didn't see a mess. You didn't see them leaving things around, which was beautiful to see. Again, people are watching us. People are watching us as a culture, seeing how are they going to screw this up. There was really nothing. I think even they tried to get some underage people in there to kind of test your method of entrance. And
yes, I was told days later that the police purposely send 3 undercovers to see if they get past our event staff and security, and they were all turned away, which I was glad to hear.
Yeah.
And then talking about the cleanliness, I like clean, and I also like too. I've gone to different types of events, and I've seen clean ones and dirty ones, and I thought, no, if I'm responsible for the event, I want to clean. So we actually hired a cleaning crew that they were constantly cleaning the porta potties, cleaning the tables where everyone's eating on.
Yep.
And that's what I wanted. I want everyone to say, thanks, Rodney, because that's exactly what I wanted.
Yeah.
Wanted the public to say, it was clean.
I saw that. You know, somebody would leave a table, they were spraying them down. And of course, in these times of COVID, that's really important. People looking for that. So the fact that you were consciously doing that and made an effort to make that difference, it did stay. It did stick out, and other people mentioned it to me as well. The other thing is when I went into the consumption tent, you know, some of them had set up kind of like living rooms, and the diversity of people that were sitting together in that communal moment smoking cannabis. It was quite odd to see. I mean, I'm from the cannabis culture, so it wasn't surprising to me, but to see it in a public place was exceptionally awesome to witness.
Right. Oh, I saw that too, and I would go in the tents to make sure everything was being done correct, and also to check in on my filters are still running properly. But I saw that too. We put seating areas inside each tent where people or a lounge area, and when I went through one, for whatever reason, I stopped and looked at the lounge area, and I saw Veterano. You know, that in our neighborhood when I grew up, Veterano, OG, old time gangster, and I saw him sitting there, and he's sitting next to this young kid, looked like a surfer.
Yeah.
And then I look across, and there's some woman looked like a homekeeper, like a housewife, and yet they're all sitting there together, just talking and smoking. Yeah. And I remember that kind of caught me. I said, "Wow, where else would I see a group like this, talking?"
Yeah,
and I don't know what they were saying, but I knew they were having a good time because I see them laughing with each other, smiling with each other.
Yeah.
And I was just kind of taken back. I said, wow, you would never see something like, I don't know where I would see something like this.